Rich Hribar's puppy never sleeps. We never sleep on the Davis Maddock Best Ball channel either. We are drafting an Underdog Fantasy. Gonna hang out with Reeves for about an hour. Then Mr. Greg Brainos from Coachspeak Index is gonna hop on next. We're gonna do a DraftKings draft after that. Reeves, I want to ask you a clear question here.
Okay.
Brian Thomas Jr. Was he a Mac Jones merchant, or is it going to happen? Is it going to happen for him? Yes or no?
What is the context? Will it happen for him? Like, how are you defining?
Can Brian Thomas Jr. average 13.7 fantasy points per game this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think that's in the range of possible. I still think as a touchdown scorer, he's still like the top guy that you would look at. And then from a best ball stance, the types of targets that he's going to earn with these guys on the field. The Jaguars are a fun team in general to try to diagnose because, they found this, they had this weird sliding doors thing that happened last year with like the Travis Hunter injury, right? Because that was Travis Hunter goes down before the bye week. We think that like he's coming on to be the wide receiver one. He gets hurt. Parker Washington had 17 catches before that point of the season. They don't have Jakobi Meyers on the roster. But then when they get all these guys, when they have to settle in on the Jakobi Meyers at the Z, Parker Washington in the slot, and then, BTJ and at the X, it's like when they took off. At that point of the season, they were like 28th in points per drive. They went to 3rd in points per drive. Afterwards, they went to 4th in explosive pass play rate. They kind of found the genie in a bottle, and everything came together. And then this offseason, they're like, well, you know what we'd like to do? We'd like to run more 12 personnel. We'd like to run more 13 personnel because the rest... Gladstone's commentary after the draft, after taking the 2 10s, was like, well, the league is doing this, so we're going to do it. And it's like,
so we're going to do it.
Wait a second, man. Like, you guys found like 11 was your best personnel. Your offensive line's still not good. Your running back room is kind of a mess still. Like, why wouldn't you just lean into letting Trevor Lawrence and these 3 wide receivers and Brenton Strange just go work? So I'm curious to see like what they actually come out and do if Liam Cohen's like just has this thing. He's like, hold on, man, this is our best outfit here. Let's keep these guys on the field. But all the commentary has been that they want to use these tight ends. So I'm very curious to see if they kind of get in their own way. They're doing a little bit of regression too. Jaguars scored the most points in the NFL off turnovers. Trevor Lawrence had 9 touchdowns on drives that started in the opposing territory. So there's going to be some top-down, pull-down too. But I can't put my... the game that I can't put out of my brain with the Jaguars is the Denver game. They just went into Mile High and Denver could not stop them. So... I just really hope they stick with what worked last year and they just let Trevor Lawrence and these receivers go to work.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they do. I hope they don't try and turn themselves into a ground and pound 12 personnel. The commentary when they took the jabroni from Texas A&M, like, oh, we're gonna shock the world type situation. I don't really think that works. It didn't seem like smart decision making in any way, shape, or form. So that is a bit of a bummer. I am drafting a lot of Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, he makes sense for like this, right? Like non PPR best ball, like because when they settled in all these roles, like his A.dot jumped to almost like around 18 yards. His deep ball rate went up 10%. Like, this is the format for like if he's gonna deliver. You don't have to get their weeks right when they throw, right? Like this, he makes sense. I think around he's still going around like wide receiver like 30 to 32, right?
Yes, and he was hurt last season.
Right.
I mean he played injured. All right, we are up, and Jonathan Taylor is available for us at pick 9. Good with that?
If you wish, he's not my favorite pick, but I don't have a lot of.
Who's your favorite pick?
Here would be either like Cook, Jeanty, or Omarion Hampton, just because I shoot for a little more upside. But if you want to take Taylor, that's fine too.
You are never ever gonna have to talk to me about taking Ashton Jeanty. I am an Ashton Jeanty guy through and through.
I'm worried about the Colts, man.
That's completely my deal too.
Jonathan Taylor's been one of these backs that's been so dependent on the success of his team for fantasy football. He averaged almost 10 more points and wins than losses. And man, the Colts, like there's a number of questions for them. Obviously, a lot offensive losses, losing Michael Pittman and Braden Smith. The defense is an absolute train wreck outside of, having some good cornerbacks. Pass rush looks terrible. They open the year, Ravens, Chiefs, Texans. Then they have an international game. They don't take a bye after the international game. They go at Pittsburgh. Like there's a real chance they're like 1-4, 0-5. it's not a great layout for the Colts, and you so much is contingent on Daniel Jones playing well. I'm a little scared of Jonathan Taylor, man. In
Hampton or Chase Brown?
I'd be Hampton.
Cool with me. There
Because
we go.
if it was full PPR, I could be swayed a little bit to Chase Brown. But this is like legit, like 15 to 20 touchdown upside for Omarion Hampton this season.
Yeah. I mean, I am a little worried about
Keaton missile.
Well,
Go ahead
I'm
and
not
say it.
worried.
Just do it.
I'm
Just
not.
do it.
Hey, buddy, there's no concern there. There's absolutely zero level of concern there. What I'm concerned about, it would be the Chargers have been the offseason champions for the last 19 years in a row, and then things seem to not work out for them. That is irrational.
Lucy with the football is what is what we call this.
What is more rational is that actually the McDaniel offenses have been slower than you would think in terms of total plays per game.
Yeah, they run a lot.
They run a lot. What you need from Hampton is you need a monopoly of all of the goal line stuff, and you need the team to be more run heavy than pass heavy in those situations as well. You also need, I mean, if you think about the crazy seasons that Achane and Mostert had, McDaniel was dialing up lots of passing plays for them in short yardage situations, getting Achane in space, letting him generate those screens. I don't know if Hampton is that style of guy. I mean, Hampton is obviously a good pick. Like I don't need to say Omarion Hampton is a bad pick, but and I guess the offensive line is good in the sense of the week one projecting starting lineup is good. I also don't have a sense of like how unlucky was it that everyone got injured last year, or like are a lot of those guys old? Is it like Trey Pipkins was involved? Like, you know, I mean, Joe Alt is obviously going to be very.
I mean,
good,
injuries were just kind of more. They weren't like chronic. It was severe. They just got whomped.
They just got whomped. Yeah.
Slater had the ACL, and then Joe Alt had the fractured ankle. Like it's like, well, what are you gonna do, man? Yeah. And their guards in center were awful. They bring in Biadasz too at center. Cole Strange comes over, who was with McDaniel in Miami. So I mean, it definitely looks a lot stronger. It's just hard for me to not look at a guy that was a former first round pick, super athletic, can catch the football, 230 pounds, like in that system.
Are you taking Nabers?
I haven't been, but if you want to try to take some guys we haven't, that's fine.
But we can take Olave. We can take Olave. I'm in these big best ball tournaments, I'm pretty in on Nabers because I'm like, hey,
yeah, dude, it's fine. I get it.
Probably gonna lose anyways. Well, they're over like
losing anyways.
But over like the most recent couple days, there's actually been more positive stuff on his health. Like the GM was like, yeah, we expect him to be back. Like the most recent two things I've read on Nabers have been positive. And frankly, if Nabers doesn't play week one, he would be the abnormality this offseason because all the other injury guys are way ahead of pace right now. Like they're all pacing. Like Kittle's going to play week one. Mahomes is going to play week one. Kraft is going to play week one. Like it's more abnormal than not for Nabers to not be active. All right. We're about to be up again. We've got Jeanty, Hampton, Olave. We're in the fourth round. What are you thinking here?
I would be Egbuka here, but I could take a number of these guys if you wanted to do Jacobs. I would be Egbuka though.
No, I like Egbuka, and talk to me about Egbuka and how you grade that rookie season where he starts out so good in terms of the results, gets hurt, the target earning, the separation. Like I remember him being like on all the fancy metrics, all of his separation and stuff was quite low. So how are you working through that?
No, I think if you look at a first round pick that did what he did immediately out of the box, like it's like there's a number of these guys where we try to tear these things down in fantasy football. Like you go under the hood, it's like, hey man, they took a guy in the first round. He almost had 1,000 yards as a rookie, and it was in a season where the entire offensive line got hurt. I mean, they had 3 different linemen get hurt during the course of the season. You had Baker Mayfield had like 3 different injuries. They had no run game. It's just like, why won't we dwell on the positives a little bit in this scenario as well? And then when you remove Mike Evans from the field last year, I mean, with Mike Evans off the field last year, which was almost a 400 route sample, this dude had just under 2 yards per route run and was targeted on 26% of his routes. Like, this is what we want, the usage we want. I'm also very bullish on the Bucs in general because Zach Robinson runs a very adjacent scheme to Liam Cohen, which
Very
Baker,
adjacent, yeah.
which Baker had. So Zach Robinson was there with the Rams when Baker made his little pit stop there. That at the end of was it 2022. Also, the Bucs in general, I think they're built to throw, which fits the scheme, and their defense, when you look at it, their front seven is gnarly. Like, they're going to be awesome against the run, but they lose Jamel Dean. Their cornerbacks look a mess. Like, this is a team I think that has like high shootout potential in the range of outcomes where like they're good against the run, forcing teams to pass. Like, remember like the Lions a couple years ago where they just like shut down the run and everyone's like, man, we can't run on these guys. Their secondary sucks when we throw on them, and they played in like all these high scoring games. I think the Bucs have that kind of potential, and their team is like outside of Egbuka is really cheap to kind of build some stacks around like Baker, Egbuka, Godwin, if you want to take shots on McMillan later, Ted Hurst even late. So I'm pretty bullish on the Bucs being a pretty big value team right now.
All right. Well, hey, this is very topical then. Do you want to take Bucky Irving here?
Not really, but
Judkins?
I want the passing game.
Do you want Judkins?
Do you want to we could try to do a Saints double if you want. That's on the table. I would be Odunze or Carnell Tate if you made me pick a player.
All right, there we go. We got Odunze, who I am way below market on Odunze because I'm a Luther Burden
guy, and I think Luther Burden. I think you just flip the sites. I think Luther Burden is on underdog is like not a tremendous underdog type player. He's very Zay Flowersian. Like, his ceiling outcome is being like a Zay Flowersian type player. He only had 2 end zone targets last year, man. And granted, he'll get more than 2 as a full-time player, but Colston, Loveland, and Odunze are the packed-in money zone guys. And that's where underdog, like, you're just chasing touchdowns.
Yeah. I would probably be Jadarian Price here or Caleb Williams. What do you think?
We have options to do stacks later. If you want to take Caleb, that's fine. I'm fine at Price.
Yeah. What?
We need a running back anyways. We
did need a running back. So how do
because
you
it's about to die? Price is like the firewall.
He's literally the last one. How do you view the Buccaneers running back room in terms of, they got a lot of options there. They signed Kenneth Gainwell. They call him the 1B. Sean Tucker got all the rushes inside the 5. Bucky, no rushes inside the 5
0
last year. Yeah. So how are you breaking that down?
It seems to be like word of mouth is it's Gainwell Irving. Sean Tucker, I know there's like some hope. He's kind of in that Katron Allen zone, right? Of like, you just hope this guy has like a role near the goal line and then maybe he can turn into something more. But they didn't give the tender to him at first. Then they did. And like no one really wanted him. And then they did. They went out and got Gainwell right away too. I just don't know how bullish they are on like having him be like a focal point of the offense to the degree he was even last year. But this is a guy that continuously pops up every season. And like when he plays, you're like, oh, this dude can play a little bit when he gets a chance to play. So it just depends on how much of an opening he gets to start the year. But Bucky's pretty tricky because, the mental health stuff is crazy. Like, this stuff we just can't quantify, right? Like, we just don't know. Like, Will Fuller was this way, remember? Like, Will Fuller just like disappeared because he just didn't want to play football anymore. Like, you just don't really know.
I had kind of forgotten the mental health stuff with Bucky, but he was making some crazy posts on Instagram.
Yeah. He's been pretty open about it.
Yeah, Todd Bowles had said the same thing. He's like, oh, he's trying to work through some stuff. And I'm, frankly, I mean, the Rondale Moore thing, like these guys who are professional athletes, like it's very, very difficult when your body is not responding and not like you make a living off your body. Your whole self-worth is tied up in your ability to be a fucking gladiator. And then when your body is not responding the way you want it to, like, I'm sure that is insanely difficult for these guys. And frankly, that might be part of the reason why they chose to give Gainwell that contract and why they wanted to get him right away. Is like, yeah, we got to figure that out. The issue is that Gainwell is starting to get quite expensive in these drafts now. Gainwell he's like one of the biggest risers overall. All right.
Yeah, and I don't want to dismiss Gainwell either because I thought coming out of college he was
loved Gainwell as a prospect.
He was a pretty good prospect. He just was buried and never really had a chance. So it's like, I don't want to just say like he was a flash in the pan either.
Yeah. All right. We are up in 2 picks. We have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Let me sort it by ADP here. We can kind of do whatever. Do you have a favorite here?
I usually in this spot, I'm more of like a Pollard, Tucker Kraft guy. I've been liking the dip on Alec Pierce though too in these because he's the type of guy you would want in this type of format, right? Like he's still going to get more targets when he's available, and it doesn't sound like he's in jeopardy of not starting the season either. And we faded JT at the top.
And okay, that's a good point. You got me. I am so not an Alec Pierce guy. I'm a Josh Downs guy. And I was already.
Well, this is the wrong site for Josh. Downs,
it is definitely the wrong site for Josh Downs. I'm concerned about any guy like Pierce who just completely sun-runned all his results the year before. Like that is a red flag. Anyway.
Oh, we should have taken Godwin, right? We should have.
I think it's fine either way. I actually think Egbuka and Godwin. You could argue that Godwin can't really get there on efficiency anymore, so he kind of needs Egbuka to not be a target hog. Like I could see them not being.
He's set up the Baker.
All right, we are up. Harvey is kind of truly the last running back. What do you think here?
Hot take, man, but I came on your show last year and said that Xavier Worthy was the worst pick in drafts. I actually think he's a pretty solid pick at this point.
Yeah, because
in these formats.
Yes, the math is now all the way back around on Xavier Worthy's side.
I hold no biases, man. I just call the spades as they come.
Would you have drafted Chris Hogan at this price?
No, not Chris Hogan. You guys took that one a bridge too far, but
you're the one who said it. Hey, no one put any words in your mouth. You're the one who said it.
Listen, I'm a man of principle, and now a guy like Xavier Worthy, I think it's easy to excuse what happened to him last year. He's just so cheap. Like if there's just avenues where he pays off at this cost, right? Like he's very much like Chiefs Jordan Addison in a sense, so he goes right near him.
Yeah, where he's kind of like Chiefs Jordan Addison. Yeah, where are you at on the Chiefs? Are you like they're all priced kind of appropriately? It's a little bit too rich. Mahomes has been like the passing efficiency has been down for 3 years now. Like I think there are a lot of reasonable ways. Obviously, I think Mahomes at quarterback 11 is preposterous, but I have the faith of a religious zealot that not many people have. Yeah.
I am very interested to see what Kenneth Walker does for this offense. I mean, this is a team I think that is capable of running. They kind of had hubris with the running back position. You think finishing 32nd, 32nd, and 32nd an explosive run rate might be an explanatory variable for why the passing game didn't work that good? You think those things might be related? And I'm very interested to see how Kenneth Walker's input on the offense impacts how Rashee Rice is used, or to the degree Rashee Rice is used, because they haven't made any wholesale changes at wide receiver, but I think they're looking at the addition of Kenneth Walker as saying, like, maybe we don't have to have Rashee Rice be this extension of the run game to the degree that it's been fundamentally dragging our offensive down as well. Maybe we shouldn't throw this guy 30% of the passes at 4 yards downfield. So maybe we get more play action, more stuff like that. But the ACL is probably why we're not going to get that full run out, because he's going to be in the gun probably a lot still to open up. I can't believe people haven't run with like a conspiracy theory on the Chiefs, because everyone loves the Chiefs. Do you like
Laporta?
Yeah, I do. Very much so.
Yeah. Okay. That gives us another quarter. No, hey, you're here. I know what I'm doing. I'm driving the ship.
Did you see what the league did for the Chiefs though? Well, I say did for the Chiefs, 'cause I'm trying to push the conspiracy towards people.
There's something with the way their schedule starts at the beginning of the year that's favorable for them. I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. I mean they gave them the early bye week. They have the tough game in Denver week 1. It's at home at least, but then they go Colts, Dolphins, Raiders, and then they get that week 5 bye. So they basically like accounted for like Mahomes needing like a month to ramp up, and I just can't believe I just love the good Chiefs conspiracity.
I do. I love it. All right, we can take Goff with Laporta. We can take can't take Baker. Goff or Shuck for our stacks here.
Oh, I'm Goff all the way for sure, man.
Yeah.
Lions got a pretty dream layout too, and Pet Sings I think was an underrated addition for them.
He was just a bad, like he and Kyler were bad fits for what the other wanted to do. Like Petzig didn't want to call an offense that made Kyler's strengths better, and Kyler didn't want to do the base Petzig system. I mean, bad hire in the first place to set yourself up that way. But I think that they are both going to be happy. Like I think Kyler is going to be very happy with KOC in Minnesota, and I think KOC is going to be pretty happy with him. And I think Petzing is going to be very happy to be with a quarterback who will do what he says and not complain about it.
Petzing wants to play that under center passing game and extension of the run, give you a lot of run looks and have the offense run through that. And that's exactly what the Lions are good at. They're built for that. That's what they did under Ben Johnson. The kind of offensive line got banged up last year. They've retooled that a little bit this offseason. I think Goff plays 3 outdoor games before the fantasy playoffs too. Like, I mean, he's like my favorite pick. Like if you're someone that waits on quarterback, I think because this is the only guy with 30 plus passing touchdowns the last 3 years too. So he's just a real safe, reliable pick. You know what we're getting, and you can always attach him to someone along the way. Whether if you don't get Amon-Ra early, you can even attach him to Gibbs. You've got Laporta as like a mid-range stack. Jameson's in like that wide receiver pocket that's really hot. That wide receiver 20 to 30 range.
Isaac Tesla. I mean, don't make me. I'm sure you're not a Tesla guy.
Oh no, absolutely not. Because they're going to play fewer three wide receiver stuff this year than they had. So
are they Reeves? No, there's been a lot of talk about Tesla.
Here's what I'll say about Tesla. He's fine in this, right? Like if we could absolutely take him on a
I was going to say Isaac Tesla, I probably will not draft him in managed.
Not one managed league. He'll be on waivers in every managed league.
He'll be on waivers. I mean, huge ADP value on Kelsey here. Okay, he goes. Are you a Malik Willis guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You invented the Konami code.
How could I not?
You better be a Malik. It's Reeves. This has been my number one pain point with the fantasy football industry this offseason. Everyone is cowards. It's like, okay, you went to the mat for Trey Lance. You went to the mat for Anthony Richardson. You went to the mat for Trey Lance. You went to the
And I was telling everyone not to, even as the Konami code guys, like, yo, like, because the whole point of the like paying top price for the guys, like where remember Anthony Richardson goes like QB5 as a rookie, is like to take those guys that high, you have to have the marriage of the rushing and the passing. It can't just the whole plane can't be the rush.
It's a great point you've always made that the rushing more than anything actually kind of builds in a floor.
It builds the floor in. That's what the whole antithesis of the original Konami code article is like. These guys have a way higher floor and they're more valuable than you realize. But to get the ceiling, like 2010 Michael Vick or 2015 Cam Newton, or
do you want to do dimes with Pierce?
No, we don't need to, right? I guess we do. This is kind of a 3 QB team, I guess.
It's a 3 QB team for sure.
Or
Woody Marks.
Let's take Keaton Mitchell, man.
Wow, doubled up. I don't think I've done this yet. I don't think I've taken them both. It's kind of fun.
There's a world where we get 6 to 8 Keaton Mitchell touchdowns and 15 Omarion Hampton touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey, Achane and Mostert. Why not?
There's not, because I actually think from a contingency side, if Hampton were to get hurt, that's how Vidal gets in the mix. Like, you know, I don't think Keaton Mitchell is just going to turn into a 20-touch guy. He's a sub 200 pound guy.
No. And this is. I mean, I basically do nothing but argue with Corain and Jacob and these guys about this. Like I would say, this is every day we're arguing about this. I think that Keaton Mitchell easily pays off this price tag with his designer boutique touches that McDaniel has set up for him. And you
never have to get him right.
Never have to get him right. Never have to get him right.
Because someone's going to take Keaton Mitchell in managed leagues, right, in this RB 48 spot, and he's going to just be a paperweight on your roster.
You're looking at him. It's McCole Hardman at the running back position. If you enjoyed McCole Hardman at wide receiver, you are going to love McCole Hardman at running back. His name is Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, what's going to happen is Keaton Mitchell, you're going to have 3 games. You're like, oh, I'm going to flex him, and he's going to get you 6 points, and then you're like, all right, what am I even doing here? And then he's going to have a 2-touchdown game, and you're like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, so Silva made this point when he was on with me, which is like there is going to be some weeks where Keaton is like a more important part of their run game than Hampton because he is the space chewer. He's the one that gets the screens. He's the one that gets the power sweeps. He's the game breaker. Hampton is your, if we're making the old Thunder and Lightning.
Hampton is way more explosive than can give him credit for, though. And he's a really good athlete. I think the offensive line is going to show the changes are going to show a lot. He's a lot more explosive than give him credit for.
Yeah. All right. We are up in 2 picks. We have a 2, 4, 5. Oh, damn. I was going to say Jones made it all the way around, but he didn't.
Was he 2 picks short? And he's
Yeah. Shit. I don't really know. I guess one of these tight ends, any of these guys do anything for you?
I mean, Hunter Henry would just be you're getting, you know what you're getting out of Hunter Henry with Drake May. He's
you know what?
Better in a best ball guy.
I'm calling an audible. I'm going to take someone I never take.
The last QB.
Goff and Willis have the same bye week, so we had to take it. We had to take a third one anyway. And Bryce is whatever. He's fine. We need him. We need him to score some points in week 6. I guess. I mean, we could have waited and taken Rodgers or whatever. Not that.
Well, listen, taking Keaton Mitchell over Daniel Jones was still a lot more fun.
It was a lot more fun. I mean, what's the difference? Like Daniel Jones versus Bryce Young, assuming the running is impacted by this Achilles repair, then he and Bryce Young are probably both going to suck. They're both going to not be fun fantasy options at all.
And we lose Hunter Henry because we had to take Bryce Young.
Well, that's fine. Terrence Ferguson is going to easily outscore Hunter Henry. Easily.
Easily get out of here.
Oh, that one I really believe. I mean, that one I absolutely believe that. All right, we are up by ADP. I mean, it's kind of like the last little group of running backs here. I do like taking Debo here because I think his ADP is going to shoot way up.
All those guys are going to climb. We did the same thing last year at Keenan Allen.
Do you like Tajay Spears or Brian Robinson or Bigsby?
No, I don't like any of those guys. I would rather just take like Flournoy, right? And just.
I have been lighter than the market on Flournoy, but he does have quite a bit of contingent upside, actually, like an insane amount of contingent upside.
I mean, you've seen it. The game where Lamb missed against the Jets, he goes for 100 yards. And then when Lamb got the concussion against the Lions, he comes in and goes nuts. So he definitely has big-time contingent upside. He also has a chance just to be a bigger part of the base offense because Jake Ferguson was ass at the end of last year. Like the back half of last year, Jake Ferguson was dust.
I mean, Jake Ferguson is not good. You know, Jake Ferguson is just a guy who
he's a cromulent tight end.
He's Dalton Schultz or whatever.
Yeah, he's very Dalton Schultz adjacent.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz goes in the 15th round. Those guys are fine.
There's a place for those guys. They're good players. Like Jake Ferguson does what he does that the Cowboys asked for him to do.
Yes, sure. I mean that is certainly true. Doesn't make me that interested in them. So I think an interesting element this year is a lot of these guys who are used to getting snaps in 12. Those snaps are just going to be limited because teams. I think. Yeah, I've been writing about it
for 2 years, man.
Yeah, teams are just going to take. There's just going to be a lot less 12 out there to be had for everyone.
Well, the guys that have been more reliant on 11 personnel are the guys we should have been like hesitant on in recent years, and we've seen that play out. Like, you know, I literally wrote in my draft guide like you should remove Josh Downs, Jayden Reed, and Khalil Shakir from your draft board last year. Like, just take them off your board. So we're still like, and nothing's changed, right? Like, I would love to zig when everyone's zagging because running backs are more expensive. But like, what happened in the NFL this season to suggest there's going to be some shift? We had a terrible offensive draft, a really good defensive draft. Really
the way everyone responded to the draft was by taking
a bunch of tight ends. Everyone took
more tight ends. Everyone took tight ends. Are you a Dulcich guy?
I mean, he's fine because we have Willis. So I'm cool with it.
Dulcich here or Debo.
Dulcich.
Bang.
We need to do two more tight ends anyways.
Yes, yeah, and they both have the same bye week, so we're locked in.
I'm gonna make you take Ayuk instead of Debo anyways.
All right, hey, you give me I'm gonna take Terrence Ferguson with our next pick. You give me your Ayuk spiel right now.
I have no real Ayuk spiel except for the fact that I definitely believe he plays football this season. I think there's a larger chance he still plays football by the time we get to August than doesn't. And you're just looking for closing line value. I have nothing to sell you on he's going to be good or he's going to do it. I have no idea. So he's just going to go. He's going to be a top 48 pick, though. If he joins the Commanders in August 10th, he's still going to be a top 48 pick.
He won't be a top 48 pick.
Yeah, he will. Yes,
top 48 overall.
On the Commanders? Oh, no, on the wide receiver.
Oh, yes, sure.
He'll be a wide receiver 4 or better.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, I was never an Ayuk guy anyway. when
Yeah, I've
when
nothing to sell you at him as a player. It'd just be like it's just CV.
it's just I agree. Again, this is another one that I'm gonna take Terrence Ferguson.
I'm cool with that.
I got to make sure the bye weeks are okay. The deal with Ayuk is that I actually agree with you. I think the chances he plays football are much higher than the market seems to suggest at this point. Like the fact that he is going after Jerry Jeudy and Dijon Stribling, like he can not even be that good at football anymore and easily outscore Dijon Stribling.
Yeah, Stribling I've had a hard time getting for 2026 because the runway for him I think is just too thin, especially if and granted the 49ers just maybe will never be healthy again because of the substation jokes, but they actually got older, but it's still hard to find like the opportunities for him in the base 49ers offense in 2026, right? Because you still have CMC occupying his huge target share. Mike Evans when he's healthy, Ricky Pearsall when he's healthy, and then Kittle when he's healthy. It's like, where do the opportunities come from for Stribling to where like you're getting this massive run out? It's really all contingency stuff, right? They don't play a lot of 11 anyways to begin with.
They don't play a lot of 11 anyways. I think the argument would be he has so many outs. He's got Evans injury outs. He's got Pearsall injury outs. He's got this guy's just so good. We got to get him snaps anyway outs. I mean, certainly Christian Kirk injury outs, right? I mean, I think that's like the market is almost assuming that Christian Kirk can't play. He's got, maybe McCaffrey just doesn't have any juice left and can't play, and they are just like a more pass heavy team. There are a lot of outs for Stribling, and he was the 33rd pick in the draft. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that is what it is. Like all the arguments for Stribling are the dude was the 33rd pick in the draft.
I was going to ask you when we were coming up at what you're doing at Jayden Blue.
I'm drafting Jayden Blue again. Yeah. All right, Reeves, give me your favorite late sleeper running back. Rich Hribar's favorite sleeper running back.
He went. It was Keaton. Keaton was the dude.
Yeah, Keaton is good. Damon Claiborne is mine. You have any thoughts on this list of guys right here?
No, we took Jeanty, so like it doesn't make sense to really take Washington as a dart.
Do you like either of the 49ers guys?
Not really, but if you have a preference, go ahead. You fire here. I have nothing to. I'm gonna talk.
All right, I'm gonna take Marshawn Lloyd, who got a university study done on his body, to try and figure out why he cannot stay healthy. There you go. Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, I don't believe in that pick.
And this probably has to be a running back two again, or no? We don't say this.
No, we're good. We started running back. We started Jeanty, Hampton, and we have Keaton, so we have all the Chargers locked down, so we can do wide receiver. Probably Brazel makes the most sense because we don't have any other Carolina Panthers.
I mean, we don't need to stack him.
True. Yeah. What
Brazel's fine.
What if Braylon Allen is a dog? I mean, Braylon Allen weighs 250 pounds. So I think he's in the category of being a dog, it sounds like.
The problem with Braylon Allen is he's not as good as Isaiah Davis.
Oh, come on. He's got his whole life ahead of him, dude.
He does. Isaiah Davis is legitimately good.
Yeah. I took Brazel.
That's fine.
Yeah. Whatever. Not a guy I have any strong feelings about. Although I do find myself in these situations more than I would think, where like, oh shit, all right, I got to take a third quarterback. I don't want to take Jatavian Sanders, so I do take a lot of Chris Brazel. Like I wonder how often I have that combination of players, Chris Brazel and Bryce Young.
Admit to that. I wouldn't even tell anyone. I would deny.
I have 12 of 712 completed drafts. I have 12 of those teams together. 1.7%. 1.7% of my teams have those guys together. No. Malachi Fields is not a slappy pick. Malachi Fields stinks. Not a good player. All right, Reeves, this is what we got. Jared Goff, Malik Willis, Bryce Young, Jeanty, Hampton, Jadarian Price, Keaton Missile, Marshawn Lloyd, Chris Olave, Emeka Egbuka, Rome Odunze, Alec Pierce, Xavier Worthy, Ryan Flournoy, Chris Brazel, Sam Laporta, Greg Dulcich, and Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah, it looks like a solid fifth place 5th place finish.
Hey,
hopefully run hot.
well, hey, I think the advanced structure here 4-12. So if we're 5th place in this, we'll have a sweat. 4th place is all we need.
Yeah, 4th place is all we need. That's right.
And then it gets going. All right, so talk to me. Let's come back to the Bears. I want you to talk to me about Rome Odunze. I mean, how much of his lack of efficiency do you ascribe to the offense, to the injury? Like, where are you overall at on Rome Odunze?
It's just where he earns his targets in the offense. I mean, he's the guy that's gotten the brunt of 2 years, the shortcomings of the underbelly of Caleb Williams' inaccuracy, right? He has the highest off-target rate on the team the past 2 years. After his opening 5 weeks last year, he was number 1 in the NFL in off-target rate. And it's because he gets the more vertical targets, the more winning contested catch targets. Whereas Burden and Loveland, when you look at their off-target rates, like they were pretty, like just there was nothing outlierish with them with Caleb Williams. It's just Rome gets the volatility targets, like the high volatile targets, and that's kind of what hurts him. But something like this structure, I think this is set up for a guy like Rome Odunze, because I would still put dollars to donuts. He has more end zone targets than Luther Burden, and it's not full PPR. So if we're just looking for like comparable yardage, because he's getting more downfield shots, and you can get maybe 4+ touchdowns, if not maybe even the double up situation, like this is the type of structure where I think it makes more sense at cost to be in on Rome versus Luther Burden. I still think, like I said, Luther Burden, it's not a knock when I say he's Zay Flowers. It's like Zay Flowers is a very good player. It's just Zay Flowers, when it's time to score touchdowns, there's a reason he doesn't score touchdowns, and it's because he's 5'9" and he's around 200 pounds. That's Luther Burden has that same structure. Like he's going to be doing a lot of touchdowns. He's going to be having to house himself. He's not going to get a lot of end zone targets. It's going to be Loveland and it's going to be Odunze still that are the guys getting those targets. So on underdog, like I think Burden at like wide receiver 20, especially when you look at where he goes around, like guys like Christian Watson, Terry McLaurin, like those guys are this is the format for those types of guys that go over him. And then on DraftKings, you would be like, oh, Luther Burden can absolutely smash on DraftKings.
I mean, I think Luther Burden can. I think Luther Burden can score touchdowns. Like there have been plenty of guys of his body type who have done. I mean, the most obvious comparison.
Yeah, but they don't play with 2 other guys that are probably more optimal targets for the coach to design targets too for those targets. Like if it was just him in a wide open setting, you'd be like, if he was on like, if he swapped places like Tet McMillan, you'd be like, yes, he can. They could design plays for him. But when you have guys like Loveland and Odunze, those guys are roadblocks, I think, for those types of targets. Like a coach is just going to want to design plays in those types of areas of the field, because that's where those guys win.
What if Luther Burden just scores a bunch of long touchdowns though? What if
that's possible. He is that type of explosive player. Like I definitely I think when you look at like if Burden scores 8 touchdowns this year, how many do you think actually came on throws into the end zone? Like 2 to 3?
2. I was gonna say 2. Yeah, 2. Hey, the size of my bags would allow it. I mean, there's also some health stuff with the Odunze. Like he's got the bum foot that he said is like changed the way he has to like train and stuff. So that is not great. I mean, frankly, DJ Moore not being there is. I mean, it's so big for all of them because there's really not an alternative on the roster. The alternative on the roster would be playing 13 personnel, I guess, playing Roush and Komet together. I don't even really.
Well, that's
see.
what happened. At the end of the year and what they've done this offseason, they're going to roll over what they did. You look from week 10 on, they were second in the NFL in rate of 12 personnel and second and 13 personnel. They copied what McVay was doing, and part of that was because Rome got hurt and Loveland was almost back to full strength. Mm-hmm. But then when you look at what happened this offseason, they let DJ Moore go via trade, and we knew that was going to elevate Burden in terms of just route participation. But what they didn't do is make a counter move to add another receiver to the roster, because that's just going to mean that Loveland is going to be their guy playing 12 and 13. Like he's going to be the mover. he's basically going to be that slot receiver and that guy. He'll line up outside for like probably 10 to 15% of his snaps still too. But with them not making a subsequent move, it's a big signal that they're going to roll over that 12 and 13 personnel. And they're one of the teams that can do it. We let off the show talking about the Jaguars. They shouldn't do it. There's a number of teams that are going to copy this offensive meta that have no business doing it and don't have the personnel to exploit it. The Bears are one of the teams that absolutely makes a ton of sense to them, right? Like for them to do this. The Raiders are another team that makes sense why they're going to do it. Just will we get the quarterback play to have like a full fantasy run out? But yeah, there's a number of these teams are going to copy this, and it's going to be foolhardy.
I mean, there are going to be at least like 5 teams when you're watching them on Sunday or on Monday or on fucking Wednesday or Thursday now, because the NFL just has to take every game every day of the week, where you're just watching them and you're like, man, this situation would be so much better if you would just put a guy out there who is any kind of threat through the air at all.
Yes,
like they're like, it's going to be, and some teams I think have realized that, like the Vikings signing Juwan Jennings instead of being like, yeah, we're just going to do TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver every down. Like if the Chiefs try and run 12 as their base personnel with Noah Gray, like that's stupid. They should not do that. If the Cowboys are like, all right, dude, we got to have Luke Schoonmaker out there on half our downs, that's not,
those are teams that we at least know. Like, there's teams that we know at least will be smart about. But then there's teams like when you look like the Houston Texans, like we're totally going to be pissed off when Jaylen, Noel, and Tank Dell have like 30% route participations, and Marlon Klein is out here like on like 60% of passing plays. Like you're just gonna be so pissed off about it, right? Like the Packers are another team that constantly do this. Where like Jayden Reed still has like a 60% route participation. You're gonna be like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah, 100%. All right, another guy I got to ask you about, one Mr. Brock Bowers. I have a feeling, I don't know this based on anything, but I have a feeling that you're going to dump some cold water on my idea that Brock Bowers is going to be the story of the National Football League season.
Yeah, unfortunately I will, but it's not because I don't have a little FOMO about Brock Bowers, because I honestly believe we're going to have a stretch of Brock Bowers' career where he has like a Kelsey type run where he's like the tight end one for like 6 straight years. It's just, I don't know if this is going to be one of them for a couple reasons. I'm actually lower on all the tight ends in general though. Like, so this isn't just the Bowers take, like I'm lower in the top tight ends. I think this is a year to kind of play the field of tight ends than go for a top tier tight end. Loveland would be the kind of one guy at cost like I'm on board with the most, just in terms of factoring capital. There's a few reasons though for Bowers. I think he's obviously going to smash. He's going to be efficient. Is a great player. I'm happy to see he's falling in this Kubiak system, but the last 5 tight end 1 scores overall have just led the position in routes run. I think that's not really in the range of outcomes for Bowers in this system. Kubiak's going to play slow. They're going to play run heavy. They're also a team, I think, when you look at the way they've improved their offensive line, and I say not only getting Tyler Linderbaum, but bringing in Rick Dennison, a 30-year, offensive line head coach, and not having the coach's son who doesn't coach the offensive line this year. This is a team that's just going to be way more balanced than they were a year ago. They're going to have way more success running the football than they did a year ago. And just like, we're going to see that play. They're going to want to play, I think, structurally like the Raiders. And there's a couple other teams like this too. The Dolphins being one and the Cardinals being one, based on their hires and what they're going to do offensively. Is like, these teams want to play in rock fights. They know they're not good enough to probably win, 10 games going toe to toe with a lot of teams. But if they can just keep games close and then just have some variance skew in their direction, like that's their style of football, like the Raiders are going to want to play. That's how I believe it. But then the other thing is, when do we see Mendoza? Because there's never been a tight end 1 scorer overall that's had a rookie quarterback play 8 or more games. So the highest, we've had a couple guys finish tight end 3, Zach Ertz in 2016, Delaney Walker in 2015. So we still have the variance of just quarterback play still. And it's easy to look at Fernando Mendoza and say, hey, when this dude plays, he's better than what Brock Bowers had before. Sure. But it still would be like an all-time outlier. And you're paying a real iron price to chase this ceiling, because if he's just all right, like you're not getting any value out of this in terms of the opportunity cost. So that's just the way I play. If you want to go in a different direction, I'm not going to push back because the player I believe in. So that's it. So I do have a little FOMO for the player, but analytically it just doesn't make a lot of sense to take him.
Now, how true is that in terms of if you translate it to what JSN did for the Seahawks last year? Because the Seahawks were also not a high volume team.
You
They were
can't
not a
ask
high
Brock
drop
Bowers
back
to be
team.
Jackson Smith-Njigba. You cannot.
You can't ask him to do that in terms of the deep. Like, he will not generate the same efficiency on deep throws. But what he will add that JSN does not have is he might be one of the best yards after. Like, he might end up being one of the best yards after catch players of all time. Like, he could end up being.
And that's what you have to have happen.
Yes, and that is, I think that is the specific bet that I am making, which is that the reason why he would not project that well. I actually just had like the Mike Clay stuff up earlier, and he has McBride better than him. I think because of the overall play volume concerns. The bet that I'm making is that if I get a 30% target share for Bowers on only, what do we call it, 517 dropbacks, 550 dropbacks. Does that sound about right? About fair? Is that too high?
I think I was going to pull up what I haven't even had, Maz.
I was going to say, I think that could be okay. Is that Bowers can generate a 30% target share on that degree of volume, but whatever his base yardage projection in is wrong, is off by a factor of, I mean, at least one standard deviation, because I expect him to be so good yards after catch. Also, another thing that we have not seen Bowers do in the NFL that he did at college is kind of effectively be the primary red zone weapon for his team. The Raiders did not use him that way in 2024 at all. They didn't really have a chance to use him that way in 2025. He only played.
He was number one still. He was number one in end zone target share, 42% of the end zone targets.
Well, end zone target share on the 2025 Raiders. How many? I'm
just saying, I mean, they didn't add anyone. Like, they're not throwing a Trey Tucker in the end zone. Like, and even Jalen Naylor, who they added, they're not throwing to him in the end zone either. It's going to be Bowers anytime they can get down there.
Well, I'm more talking about like the type of cheating bullshit that the Eagles were doing for Dallas Goedert and things like that, or like the Devontae Adams touchdowns that it was getting last year. Like, I don't think there's any, because the thing is, when you do the cheating nonsense, the guy has to be really good at that. And I think that Bowers will be really good at that. I think Bowers is going to be able to generate separation, generate like, the to me, the classic cheating tight end play. I don't even know what you call this play, but they line up in the bunch formation on one side. The guy just starts moving his body towards the end zone. The second the snap goes, you get it inside the pocket, and he just breaks the one tackle and he's in. Like, to me, that is Bowers could score on that play every time.
I mean, like I said, I think it's an opportunity cost for me, and that your range of outcomes is so thin on a team that we still expect not to win a lot of games and be that good. And it's just really hard for me to pull the trigger at that cost. And I get it. In best ball, you have a lot of outs. I will say this. I could see Bowers being actually a low advance rate player, but then still being pretty critical to winning a big tournament like this. Because I believe in the playoffs, it's Denver, Tennessee, Arizona. So because I think at cost, I think more often than not, the way this plays out, he is an overvalued pick. But if he ends up being a low advance rate player and then absolutely just comes out and smashes the Titans or Cardinals in week 17, then you might be in a good spot. I think that's also true about Jeremiah Love. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be a very low advance rate player. You look at the Arizona schedule, it's an absolute nightmare. But then after that week 14 bye, they have Jets, Saints, Raiders in the playoffs. Like, if you can get a Jeremiah Love team through, he could be kind of critical for winning big tournaments like this.
Yep. And also good week 17 matchups for both of them, which is.
But I think both those guys are going to be on the lower end of advance rate players at cost, though. They go near Bowers has moved way up, but yeah, because Bowers outright he's leapfrogged McBride, which I'm fine with, which I think is totally cool. I'm a fade at McBride at ADP too. So
all right, I got another one. For you.
No, I'm out all the way here.
Give me all the way out in redraft, all the way out in best ball, all the way out. Here. We started on BTJ. Give me the Reeves branded take on trap. I mean, everything, dynasty, redraft, best ball. I want to hear your prognosis for Mr. Hunter.
Big picture, I still am keeping an open mind because I think he's a talented football player. But I think short term, the Jaguars found their sauce, man. Like we talked about, we let off the show with, are they going to get in their own way even getting Parker Washington on the field as much as they should, and Jacoby Myers on the field as much as they should, let alone Travis Hunter, right? Like, at best, he's still not going to leapfrog all those guys at face value. Like, he still needs a door open for him. The other thing, too, that I haven't heard really discussed with Travis Hunter is the Jaguars are extremely thin at cornerback. And that's part of the reason why they've kind of talked about playing more. But what if there's an injury there? Like, we can't expect all their cornerbacks to make it through healthy either. So if they have an injury at cornerback too, I think it's just going to propel him to kind of be used on the defensive side a little bit more in a 2026 vacuum. He's going to moonlight, I think, on offense, but I just think their base offense, he's right now, it's a detriment to take one of Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, or Brian Thomas Jr. off the field for him at this point.
The pushback that I have and why I'm still interested in him at his current price, particularly for best ball.
I mean, this is a Davis Maddox player if there ever was.
It's a Davis Maddox player. Really, it actually comes down to how I feel about James Gladstone, which is that James Gladstone I don't think is going to want to take the L. I find the least plausible thing in the situation to be, all right, well, we traded up, we did a massive deal to take this guy at number 2 overall, and now we're just going to make him a normal cornerback on our 11-win AFC South team. I just, to me, that feels so implausible that as an organization that they would have the humility to accept they maybe made a mistake. Maybe Travis Hunter's not that good of a receiver. Maybe my analysis of this guy winning the Bolitnikoff and the Heisman and all that stuff is wrong, and he actually is better. And that's the thing a lot of scouts said was he's a more natural corner than he is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck if I know. I can't watch cornerback and tell you how natural a guy is there. I know he looks good to me as a receiver. I mean, he looks really good to me as a receiver. I just like how likely is it that they give up on the prospect of him being a contributor wide receiver? Like, that feels so impossible to me.
I don't think they're giving up on it. I just think that, like, what happened during the course of last season, like, their base offense ran a lot better when, again, they had Jacoby Myers at the Z, Parker Washington's moving around slot Z, and then you had Brian Thomas Jr., stretching the field. So where does he fit into that? I mean, how much do you remove a component of the offense that worked for you? And mind you, we've already talked about if you're using the Gladstone's not going to take the L argument here, then that means you already think they're going to play more 12 because you're saying he's not going to take the L on taking Nate fucking Boerichter in the second round this year when he has no business playing on the field over any of these guys.
Yeah. And that might be the thing, is there might just be like no logical consistency, like no internal mechanism that keeps these things in check.
My big worry is Liam Cohen is on his way to getting Stefanski or Kevin O'Connell, and I'm not ready to cement that as an actual take. I'm just worried that it's in the range of potential outcomes more in year 2, because this happened with Stefanski, where Stefanski was clearly a good coach and Andrew Berry just bricked like 4 straight drafts, and it just buried the team. That happened to Kevin O'Connell a bit, I think, too, where obviously the Sam Darnold thing fell out. He gets kind of put on McCarthy. There's a definite, I know a lot of people on back channels that I've talked to, like, they really just wanted Drake May, and then they got shut out on that. And then I think when you look at Gladstone's 2 drafts, because I'm a big Cohen truther, but Gladstone's 2 drafts, they look objectively pretty rough right now. And I mean, they look real rough.
I mean, if Travis Hunter is just a corner, that's one of the worst trades in the history of the draft. If he's just a corner, even a good corner, even if he is the 9th best cornerback in the league, trading 5 and a future first to get up to, well, it was more than just 5, right? It was also a later pick than that too, but like a huge jump, a future first and more draft capital to take a guy that is your 2nd best cornerback is insanely bad. Worse than shocking the world with Nate Boerkircher or whatever. Like, way worse.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just a little worried that Gladstone is because on paper, their team is not like, it's not strong. Offensive line looks real weak. Like I said, I'm confident they can coax something out of this backfield, but like, they lose Devin Lloyd. Now Travis Hunter, they need him to be a really good cornerback in year 2 for the state of where the defense is right now. A lot of questions about the direction of the team building here.
Yeah, I have many questions, comments,
and they gave, they just gave Strange that extension. They're already talking about giving Parker Washington an extension. They gave Myers the extension when he joined. What do we need out of Hunter this year if you're taking, what is he, wide receiver 50 something?
Hunter, yeah, he's wide receiver 57.
So what do we need? 3 weeks out of him? 3 weeks?
I mean, if he has
fair?
if he has a wide receiver 9 week like he did last year in the crazy blowout loss, you're probably calling it good there.
I would say so. If you're saying you only need 3 weeks, I can at least acquiesce and say you might get those. But I think if you're looking for a larger run out,
I am no
it's
longer
harder
like
to see.
if I was having to take Travis Hunter in the Matthew Golden, Michael Pittman Jr., KC Concepcion, Wan'Dale Robinson tier of guys, I would not take him. I would totally pass. Those are all real guys who are going to be startable and usable in redraft.
Yeah, they're going
leagues.
to get 100 targets.
They're going to get 100 targets. Travis Hunter is probably going to get, my guess is between 50 and 60 targets. The reason why I actually think
Right.
maybe this is just pure cope, but the reason why I'm like actively targeting him in this format is my guess would be is those targets are going to coalesce in maybe 6 total games. There's going to be a couple games where Travis Hunter runs like 8 routes and is not targeted and is like the game script just totally goes against him. They need him more on defense, whatever. Then there are going to be 2 or 3 games where they're down 10 points. The other team is just running the ball. Hunter's not going to be out there in against heavy personnel anyway. And those end up being the games that Travis Hunter like clearly gets there. It would be your hope. If you're someone like me, that would be the hope on Travis Hunter. But I'm not like, my plan is not in like our main events and stuff, like any of our high stakes stuff. He is not going to be high on my target list in those formats. He's definitely a better and best ball guy.
Yeah, he's not draftable. I don't even have him on my board for managed leagues. I don't want anyone to draft him in managed leagues.
Yeah.
That uses my
all right.
stuff. There's just no point. There's just no point to it.
All right. Who else is interesting out here that I've not asked you about yet? Is there you gotta take your dying to get off your chest about any of these guys? Well, how about the Seattle backfield? Jadarian Price and Sharbs and Halani. Like, what's your breakdown of the Seattle backfield?
What's funny is I would have thought if you had asked me, post draft, would I kind of be in on Jadarian Price now? I probably would have said no way. You were in the threads with Evan, right? Like we have the threads, and it's just like,
Yep.
but then he's just kind of hanging around like this RB kind of 25, 26 range. And when you're looking at guys that kind of profit and beat ADP and become value picks in this range, like almost 50% of the guys that beat their ADP in this range are 1 to 2 year players, guys that are rookies or second year players. The other thing that I'm not that I think that people are taking the wrong way is that people are taking the commentary of like they want to use him, that he's not the RB1 in the offense, that he's going to slide into Kenneth Walker's role. And I'm like, yeah, that's what Jadarian Price was in college. Like, we have no sample of this guy. He's a 200-pound running back that was terrible in pass protection in a small sample we had. Didn't really catch passes, but I think he's capable of catching passes, but he's just really bad in pass protection overall. And he had a little bit of a fumble problem. Like, there's no way they were just going to come out and have this guy be a 3-down player. But when you say the Kenneth Walker role, what is the Kenneth Walker role? Kenneth Walker came in the snaps he played, he just got the ball handed off to him. He was ninth in the NFL amongst all running backs in run rate on snaps played, and it went up in the playoffs after Charbonnet got hurt. They were still using George Halani on the pass plays. So when I see those commentary, I'm like, yeah, they actually have a plan for Jadarian Price that I actually think makes sense for year one Jadarian Price. The plan is to not have him cut his teeth trying to be a pass protector like the Chiefs were going to try to do at CH when we knew he couldn't do it. They're just going to come out and say, hey, dude, we're going to put you in the game to run the football. And that's what he's going to do. So I'm like, yeah, this is actually makes a lot of sense why that, to have a plan to use a guy like this. We still don't know if Charbonnet is going to play, but the fact that he's way ahead of schedule is a little bit dicey because like the one thing that you have with Jadarian Price, especially in a format like this, is like you still need some touchdowns out of this guy. Like if he ends up with 5 touchdowns, like what are you getting?
Not that much. Yeah. I'm not interested in Charbonnet at all. I take him very, very, it has to be like a really specific build. I just think unless this guy has access to the most breaking technology of, gray market Chinese peptides, then I don't think there's really any way that he is impacting fantasy football. And I do wonder if the skill level of Halani and Wilson is low enough that Like, hey, we just took this guy 32 overall. Let's just let him play. Like, we don't. I know that the coaches last year were very regimented about the way they were using Sharps and Walker to the point that Helani played like 30% of the snaps in the Super Bowl or whatever. So maybe I am just totally past it. Clint Kubiak is gone. You know, how much of that was on the head coach or the running back coach? Like, I don't know. Like, it would be hard for me to say, but like Sharps didn't have his ACL procedure until February. So you're looking at like late
12. It's like
late
12.
late October would be best case. So you've got a big runway for Price. I think the thing that I like the most about Price is I'm obviously unclear how good he is. And I think in terms of judging true talent level, it probably matters the least prospecting running back. I know that it matters the least in terms of prospecting running backs because they get given fantasy points instead of having to earn them. But if Price is quite good, and there's reasons to believe that his skill level would be like obfuscated based on who he played with in college because he was behind the 3rd overall pick in the draft. And part of the reason why he stayed was that he was he did his Achilles his freshman year. And so maybe he never thought he was healthy enough to leave. Like, oh, like I'm not going to transfer from Notre Dame to Southern Alabama and have a 2,000-yard season. Like, and frankly, good bet by Jadarian Price. He's a first-round pick. Good. He made a good bet. He bet on himself. He stayed at the school, and it ended up working out. He's got this huge runway. Like, if he's just awesome for the first month of the season, like George Helani and Emmanuel Wilson are not taking touches away from him. They're not signing Najee Harris. Like, he's just going to keep getting the ball in a way that I think makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, Seattle's an interesting team just because all the changes, right? Like, we know they're not going to have, even if they didn't have all the changes, we knew they just, by natural regression, we're not going to be as efficient as they were last year. And then when you kind of factor in, all the moving parts, of losing Kubiak, the backfield kind of motion. People forget too, they were a bad running team until very late last year. They were one of the worst actually rushing efficiency teams, like basically through like 12 weeks, and then kind of found some stuff late. Does that roll over, or is that something that was just kind of sporadic and, kind of schedule induced? And then Kenneth Walker getting that run out in the playoffs, but harder schedule too for them as well. They're an interesting team to tackle. You remember I came on, I think early on with you, and JSN is a really tricky player, I think, at cost because he's a lot alike this year's Saquon Barkley, where just like he had a season that's just so hard to replicate in terms of run out. And you obviously are now paying a top 5 pick on that type of player when there's just a lot of pulling threads.
Yeah. It's
not that I think Jackson Smith is a bad player. I'm just saying this is a completely fantasy football cost related.
Yes.
Just like Saquon last year.
Yeah. All right, Reeves, man. Tell the people where they can get all of the Reeves goodies over on Sharp Football, what you've got planned for them coming up this offseason, and then I'll let Mr. Brainos in.
Beautiful. Yeah, we just had the Sharp 2026 preview book come out, so all that work is done. So now that that's in the can and available, it's just, full draft season content. I'll be coming out of 4th of July. I have a different series every week till NFL kickoff, formulating all of our draft plans. So look for that after 4th of July.
All right, there we go. Reeves, thank you very much for hopping on. I always appreciate your time, brother.
Absolutely. Good luck, guys.
All right. And bringing in the one and the only, I'm wondering, how's your voice doing, Greg? Are you fully recovered from your 24-hour live stream? I'm
good.
How good did sleep after that feel? Was that one of the best rests of your life?
It actually took me a while to get to sleep because I think that's when this like Rich Samini report came out about Aaron Glenn saying that he wanted to deploy a 3-headed monster in the backfield, but Aaron Glenn actually did not say that. So it was tough for me to get to sleep because it was itching at my craw.
Itching at your craw. Who's of the current 32 head coaches? Who's the worst? Who's the one that you have the greatest distaste for?
Oh man, as far as reliability, like Robert Saleh has never been reliable, but I like him as a person. I think he's a nice fella.
Okay.
As far as just like somebody who I don't like personally,
Kyle Shanahan.
No,
That's
I like
Shanahan. Oh no, Kyle Shanahan.
You guys have Kyle Shanahan wrong, man. He is not this liar that you guys make him out to be.
First off, I think he is a liar.
No.
But honestly,
the data proves you wrong.
The data proves me wrong. Well, frankly, I honestly, and I don't even really care about that. I just find him grating and annoying. I just find his whole, he looks like a guy who in another lifetime would be asking you for a cigarette outside of a 7-Eleven in like Northern California. Like you're on vacation with your family. You stop, you get gas, you're doing whatever, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna have a cigarette real quick. And Shanahan comes, hey bro, got an extra one? Can I bum a light? That's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said Sirianni. I can get down with that. He doesn't offer a lot as far as actionable coach speak, and he's just kind of a boring kind of guy.
Yes, Sirianni also did one of the biggest errors that you can do, where at his very serious, important job, he hired his buddy to do a job he wasn't qualified for, and then didn't want the smoke that came with that. I mean, look, it's like, I'm not going to vouch for any of you guys who hang out on my Discord to go on Pete's stream if I don't think you can do it, because then the blowback for that is going to come on me. You know what I'm saying?
Like from the Matic tree.
Yes. Yeah. You gotta keep that tree. You got to keep it pruned, because when someone fucks up as bad as Kevin Patullo did, it reflects poorly on you. And Sirianni took no ownership of that. At the end of the day, he never was like, that's my bad. Right. That's my bad.
Yeah. Cause he was they've been kind of alternating there in Philly with Sirianni will handpick a guy. And then, God damn it. Every time I say Sirianni, my Apple products go crazy.
By the way, I'm waiting for this draft to fill. Whenever I just entered, I have to enter it on my phone because okay, here we go. We're in the location software on all my products. Every best ball product I'm on, it's all been bad today. I don't know why.
Weird.
I have not been able to enter into anything on my computer, and we are drafting at 9. In the DK Millie, Greg.
Have you tried the deposit button trick?
No, I did not. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, it was something that had worked with 100% of the time for me, and then the other day was the first time that it didn't work. But it's a different type, I guess. Like a more, I don't know if it's more precise but it's a different way of them verifying your location. And of course, with the deposit button, there's more emphasis there for them to make sure let's get this person in.
100, yes. No, 100 billion 1,000%. It makes complete sense to me. Like, oh, we really got to get the geolocation working when the customer is ready to put money on the website. So I have not tried that yet. Frankly, I've not deposited on one of these websites in a long time, because that's a real walk of shame to have to do. So but now that you mention it, I will probably try that. I mean, sometimes it's just as easy as turning my computer off and back on, or closing the Chrome tab and putting it back on.
All right. You're not the only person that's been experiencing this. I've heard it mentioned on other.
It happens to everyone.
Yeah. I reached out to DK about that to let them know.
Okay. We are up at 9, which would mean we are probably going to get our pick between Taylor, Jefferson, or Lamb. Do you have any big leans there?
Between Taylor, Jefferson, and Lamb? Not really.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see from my exposures, I guess, frankly, I'm lighter on St. Brown. That is honestly unintentional. It's just because I was taking so much Jefferson early on. I mean, these are my exposures going back to January.
St. Brown just never falls.
He never falls.
That's what makes it so hard to get.
He never falls
above market on him.
Yeah. He literally never falls. Taylor, I don't love. Curious your thoughts on the Daniel Jones Achilles recovery. I don't know if you have anything really good on that, because I would just say I'm spooked. Taylor, Lamb, Cook, Jeanty.
I mean, if you don't want Taylor,
we can take Taylor. I don't care.
I would also be down for Jeanty.
Yeah, Yeah, you know what? It's
Yes,
never,
sir.
it's just never,
Slaps
it's never,
slap, baby.
yeah, it's just never. Look, if someone gives me the out, I'm happy to let my guests drive and draft a little bit more conservatively than I do or get exposed. But if they're gonna give me the pick that I want anyway, I'm not gonna push back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna push back
I know
about
your
drafting
true heart,
Jeanty.
Davis.
You do, yeah. And my true heart is, I mean, frankly, like my heart of hearts ranking would probably have Jeanty third overall, fourth overall. Like if I was drafting a no market, no caring about my advance rate, no caring if people were going to screenshot my shit from the new Best Ball Palantir site. Yeah, I'd probably take Jeanty at 3, I think.
Yeah, he's a pretty good pick. You look at how much Clint Kubiak likes to run the ball when they get down near the goal line. Upgraded offensive line through free agency and health. And an upgrade, obviously, in offensive play caller. And yeah, Jeanty's he's a beast.
Yeah. It's so clear to me to see how he has the hashtag legendary upside season, 4.5 catches per game, 20 touchdowns, 1,500 rushing yards. Like, it's really like, I wonder if one of the things is with it is that I watched so much of him play football in college that I just like can't shake how insanely good he was. And then he dripped it out enough as a rookie with the 2 legendary performances, was more efficient in the passing game than he had even projected to be. And one of the few guys who just is like, there's no competition for this guy on the roster. They are not going to play in there. There are going to be games where he receives every running back touch on the team. Like there'll be a couple games where no other running back gets a touch of the ball.
Yeah, Kubiak, they asked him about the workload split, and people there'd been that previous quote about like to kind of split it up between guys and have a good backup, that kind of stuff. And then the latest quote was, well, like look at what Christian McCaffrey has done with his workload. Like we like to do that with Ashton.
Yep. Barkley, Walker, London, Brown. I mean, frankly,
Barkley for me, and then Walker.
I was gonna say these guys to me are relatively flat tier. All right, Barkley goes. You good with Walker?
Oh yeah, very good.
All right, so here, dude, here's a chance. What do you got on Ken Walker? How do you feel the Chiefs, like based on the stuff that you have got in the old Coachspeak database? How do you feel he's going to be deployed? Is this going to be Kareem Hunt but good? Is this going to be more like Kareem Hunt the first time? A lot of people watching this are probably too young to remember Kareem Hunt the first time on the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this LaShawn McCoy? Is this Brian Westbrook? Like where are you coming down at on his workload?
Well, I remember that first Kareem Hunt game, I think against the Patriots, right? Like a primetime game.
Fumbled and then scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Eric Bieniemy on June 3rd in a presser was asked about Kenneth Walker, and it was a lot of I love Bieniemy because he'll give it to you like it is. And he was talking about
love Bieniemy.
Yeah. He was talking about the things that Kenneth Walker needs to get better at, because they asked him about that. And he talked about being a better player when the ball is not in his hands, pass protection, being a really good route runner, and then the efficiency, which that's, if you look at old Kenneth Walker tape or even some of the recent Kenneth Walker tape, like you understand what Bieniemy is talking about. Like they don't want him doing a lot of freelancing. It's like, okay, like this is where it's supposed to go. Let's kind of stay on this running back track here. And then you have comments from Brett Veach earlier in the offseason saying, like kind of hinting months ago that Patrick Mahomes would be ready for week 1, but we don't want him throwing the ball 50, 60 times out of the gate. So a lot of Kenneth Walker. They're very proud of how good their interior offensive line is. Like they've been talking that up quite a bit about the center and guards combo. I do wish the Chiefs had better tackles. That's a little bit of a concern, but yeah, there's not a lot of Like there's no Charbonnet in this backfield. Like, man, we'll see what Emmett Johnson turns out to be, but yeah, like they paid him a bag. They paid him like a guy who they're going to play a shitload of snaps, and it's just hard to see him ceding a ton of work to other people.
I mean, it would be very hard for me to see Emmett Johnson or DeMercado taking. I mean, maybe you could kind of work DeMercado into the long down and distance guy, kind of the certainly not the McKinnon role, but maybe the Pirine role from not last year, but the year before. I mean, Pirine did nothing, but did take, a decent chunk of the backfield. Famously iced the playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, had a 12-yard catch that led to a first down. The thing is, though, and Karain has made this point, the year that he got injured and only played 11 games, he actually was averaging over 4 catches per game. Like I think it is something that he can probably do a little bit. All right, we are up really kind of fine with anyone here. I mean, wide receiver, Brees is kind of a tier break at run. Oh shit, he went. Well, ETN I don't hate. I like Nabers. I like Javonte. What do you want to do here?
How do you feel about Ladd?
Ladd is fine by me. I don't love taking Ladd right now because my reading of the tea leaves is that Keenan Allen will probably eventually sign there, which will then nuke his average draft position and means that you're just going to be up against a lot of combos that are worse than you. Mm-hmm. Frankly, though, it doesn't, to me, the Keenan Allen thing is kind of immaterial in terms of how he projects because either Mike McDaniel has Justin Herbert just absolutely throwing seeds, third in the NFL in points per game, winning the division, or he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like for the Chargers to be a Death Star, Keenan Allen is not involved of the Death Star. The Death Star requires Ladd McConkey being like a legitimate JSN style breakout. There is no Death Star without Ladd.
Yeah, Keenan Allen is set up with a cushy job in the Intergalactic Senate.
Yes, Keenan Allen, he presses the button to empty the trash compactor, but he's not up charging the death ray or anything like that. Nabers would definitely be my pick here, but I'm open to whatever.
I'm very open to Nabers.
To me, it feels like, and I obviously don't study it to the depths that you do, but to me, the winds have changed with Nabers like the last 10 days. It feels like he goes. All right, what do you want to do here?
We could go Garrett Wilson or T-Mac.
Yeah, let's go Garrett Wilson. The way the wind is blowing with Nabers, specifically the most recent thing I read from Joe Shane, and it sounds like he has a pretty good chance of being active week 1. Like certainly I wouldn't call it like a mortal lock or anything like that, but I feel more bullish about his ability to play this season than I did, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't think I'd call it more likely yet.
Okay.
I think there's a chance, but I mean, it's been a lot of bearish stuff.
It's been a lot of bears. So I will absolutely grant that there's been a lot of, he's on national TV during the draft, barely able to walk. There's been Hribar, we'll see type stuff. Like I would say 80% of what I've heard has been bearish.
Hribar said if he's ready week 1, great. If he's not ready, great.
Yeah. that is very, 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 very bearish.
Saying that he's in the slog of it, in the grind of it. Don't like to hear slog.
No, I never want to hear slog. Obviously, what I would say is, frankly, and this is where my big disagreement with my ship chasing counterparty has been, is that I don't give a shit because whatever I sacrifice in advance rate for Malik Nabers, and it certainly is some percentage of advance rate, he is going to project for so many more points than Garrett Wilson, than Tet, than Waddle, than McLaurin, than Adams, even than Burden. I have the biggest Burden bags if you're giving me healthy Burden, healthy Nabers, it's no contest. I'm going Nabers 100% of the time. Like if Malik Nabers held a press conference tomorrow with Joe Shane and with Hribar, and they said, it's all been a send up. I'm so good. My knee has never felt better. I'm going to do a backflip and then run a 40 right now. I'm going to run a 40 faster than I ran it when I was in college. He would be a 1-2 turn pick. He would go where he might even go ahead of that if he was 100% healthy. And if I'm only going to advance like 18% of my teams anyways, then I might as well try and get Malik Nabers on some of those teams that advance.
Yeah, he's one of the few receivers where if you were to look at, when he's healthy, you look at the box score after the game and you see that you see 10 targets. You're like, he only got 10 targets?
Yes.
He's a target vacuum.
Yeah. And the only other target vacuum he ever played with is now plying his services and his trades for the Tennessee Titans. Who is even close? Likely is going to be like an 18% target share guy. Maybe Malachi Field. Like it's all jabronis. It's Nabers and a bunch of jabronis. I guess this is a huge ADP fall on DJ Moore, who I don't like at all. Lamar is there. You got any thoughts here?
Typically I would take Lamar, but if you want to get some DJ Moore, this is like what? This is like a 10 spot. This is an 11 spot ADP fall on DJ Moore. I against my better judgment. How did that happen? Who went ahead of ADP? God, 57.
I guess no one really went exceedingly early. I guess sometimes stuff like that just happens. That's crazy.
The Josh Allen guy on the end was
Josh Allen guy. He's tilting.
Broke his little heart.
Yeah.
Poor fellow.
Ideal early construction with Nabers. I think you want to do. I think you want to do hero running back, and then I think you want to plan to have 9 wide receivers. I think you want to plan on DraftKings. You want to plan to have an extra wide receiver. And in fact, he probably correlates just fine. You can probably feel comfortable taking Slayton, Fields, Mooney, and just saying, I'm going to try and get I'm going to try and squeak out 11 fantasy points per game out of these guys over the first month of the season while he misses. What's your Burden exposure thus far? High. I believe 21%. I believe. I think he's my most drafted wide receiver. I like, and Reeves was just making some anti-Burden points, which I agree with. Overall, in terms of how I would evaluate football as a whole, if I got to evaluate guys like without ever having watched them play and just knew what size they were and things like that, but it's, to me, there's a little bit of you got to apply a little bit of that boy nice when you're playing fantasy football, and Burden I think probably leads the league right now in that boy nice for me. Can we fade one more pick here? I mean, Quentin Johnson just went at 62, so I would say never say never. Although this guy, there's a chance this guy is auto drafting, which you don't love to see. Wouldn't he have picked by now? I believe. Well, you're right. You're right, because it used to be. So DraftKings has been Let's go. Got to do it. Bang. All right. Best of both worlds. We are officially trying to not drop the baby now. This team is sick. Because DK used to have so when it first started, it was 2 picks. You'd be on auto draft. Last year it was 6, and now I believe it is back to 2. 6, wow. Yeah. The coach speak on Luther Burden could not be more bullish. Yeah. Like Ben Johnson loves this dude. Ben Johnson. So obviously there was the big "I'm buying stock in Luther Burden" quote that we got recently, but also super bullish is the fact that every time he is talking about the offense and the pass catchers, like Luther Burden's name is always first. He's always leading off with Luther Burden, and that includes when he's talking about Colston Loveland. In that pass catching group, he's talked about how Luther Burden and Colston Loveland are going to be such a huge part of the offense. He's also talking again about how completion percentage is so important to them. That's like the number one thing that they're focusing on with Caleb Williams is let's get the ball out. Let's get it to
are playmakers, are guys, with huge yak potential, and then let them do what they do best. And that's Luther Burden and Colston Loveland.
Yeah. And I don't think Rome is like some big zero or anything like that, but I think Loveland and Burden are special players of their archetype. Like if you look at their ability relative to other guys who play, like Odunze and Burden effectively play different positions, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at Odunze in terms of guys who are of his body size, who run his similar routes, who have similar A dots, I don't consider him special. If you look at Burden compared to other guys his size who run his routes, who run his A dot, he seems quite special to me. And in terms of his ability to generate separation, his ability to generate yak. And to me, I would bet that Ben Johnson thinks the same way that I do, where he looks at these guys and he's like, dude, I can create so much cool shit with Luther Burden as the engine.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure he accepts that like the Rome Odunze position has to exist in his offense, but that's not what is getting his wheels turning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Burden being so good out of the slot, but also on the outside as well. Like he's not just hey, this guy destroys in the slot, but we can't play him anywhere else. Like that's great. I think we're also going to see a bunch of, not a bunch, but I think we'll see more hook and ladder plays than ever before from a Ben Johnson offense. And I wonder I
think we're going to see teams do a lot of stuff like that this year, just as coaches get so frustrated with not being able to score points. My guess is chicanery is going to be at an all-time high league wide. That is a guess. I feel comfortable.
Yeah, Monken has talked about it as well.
All right, we're up in one pick. We have Lamar, Jeanty, Walker, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore. What do you want to do here?
I like Warren here.
I was going to say sidekick would definitely be Warren there. And he really does feel like the last of a tier at running back. Like Price, so I think running back is like Price is a huge tier break to these next guys. And then to me, Warren is then the end of like, I would say Price is the end of a tier. I would say Warren is the end of a cliff. Where like after Warren, I'm talking about guys who like might not average 8 fantasy points a game after he goes.
I still think Price needs to fall just a little bit more.
Yeah, I argue about this stuff with Jacob and Corain all the time. And in some ways, Greg, I'm a simple man. First round running back on a team that's going to run the air out of the ball. Mm-hmm. I kind of don't care about like yards per contact before attempt and passing down. It's just like that guy's going to score 10 touchdowns.
Do you care about the fantasy playoffs though?
Their schedule is miserable. It's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad. And Charbonnet will probably be back. Yeah, to me, Charbonnet is like, if he comes back, great. But like Charbonnet didn't have much juice to give before. So what is 9-month ACL recovery Charbonnet going to look like in an NFL game? I don't know.
They might not care.
Could be fine. They might not care. They might not care.
We see this with coaches all the time. We saw the Rams play Cam Akers coming off of a 5-month ACL recovery.
Yeah. All right. We are about to be up at pick. We are up at pick 88. What are you thinking? It's kind of a gross range.
I do like Godwin in this area.
I like Godwin just fine. That gives us another quarterback because we just lost Herbert. So let's take Godwin. So we've got Josh Allen's gone. I guess we already have Lamar. And where are you at on Andrews? I'm a big Andrews drafter. Where are you at there?
Yeah, I don't know. He's a hard one for me to kind of wrap my brain around. Like I'm sure he's going to be involved there. I think we'll see probably a decent amount of 11 personnel from the Ravens this year, and Andrews probably the wide tight end there. So like he'll be on the field a lot, I'd imagine. Get a decent amount of routes, but like he doesn't look like a spring chicken anymore.
He does not look like a spring chicken anymore. I mean, and I have frankly posited this doesn't really matter at tight end. You can get by at the tight end position. So at the tight end position, you either need to be a mega freak. You need to be Kenyon Sadiq. You need to be Rob Gronk. You need to be freakier than freaky.
Sadiq going rounds later, by the way.
So Sadiq, a great pick too, in my opinion. Or you need to have guile. I mean, I call it, this is how Keenan Allen. I mean, what do you think Keenan Allen runs in a 40 right now? 5.5 maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of
a head start.
Yeah, it's kind of the Andre Miller. It's just like some of these guys, they can just get there because they know the game.
Yeah.
And Mark Andrews for sure knows the game. Mark Andrews could. Antonio Gates could put the pads on right now and go catch a touchdown. He against an NFL defense. How old is he? 50? Probably. He could.
Yeah, we saw Ben Watson do it till he was about 50.
Yeah, you like the tight end position. You can kind of just get by based on know-how. It's such a hard position. The intricacies of tight end are so hard that if you are one of these guys who just like gets it, you're just one of those guys. And Mark Andrews is one of those guys. He's a great tight end. All right, we are up in 2 picks. We have a 1, 3, 4.
This is the easiest pick of all time right here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ruin it.
All right, we're up.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Brooks.
All right, hey, talk to me. Because I'm now transitioning to pretty aggressively drafting Jonathan Brooks.
He's head and shoulders of better talent than Chuba Hubbard, who was not explosive last year, has never been like a very explosive back. He's a decent pass catcher, but he's nothing like Jonathan Brooks in the passing game, which they've talked about, like how much Jonathan Brooks brings to the table as a pass catcher. Dave Canales months ago alluded to not even alluded, just like straight up said that Jonathan Brooks could be a starter for us this year. And I just think that offense works so much better with Jonathan Brooks, who's a better running back than Chuba Hubbard. And people, we haven't seen Jonathan Brooks do anything, blah, 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 like back-to-back ACL. Well, the first ACL, they fucked up the surgery, which led to the second one being necessary after he tore it. This one was done by the GOAT orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Neil Elatrache. And, everything right now is looking good. So I think he'll get kind of eased in early in the season. They're not going to put like a big workload on him, but like he'll get enough work to show the difference between those two running backs.
Brother, Jonathan Brooks was different gravy in college. He really was, dude.
If he wasn't coming off an ACL, he would have been a first-round pick.
He had 103 rushing yards per game, 26 receiving yards per game. I'd have to pull up a different tab to pull up his like yards per route run and everything, but he was different gravy at Texas. He really was. The receiving yards per team pass attempt, which is kind of like the skeleton key for running back production in the NFL. He was awesome at that.
Yeah. So you look in this area where like Blake Corum is going, and yes, Blake Corum has standalone value, but unlikely that he is just going to take that job over from Kyron Williams and end up with like a 70%.
There you go. Point 0.24 receiving yards per team pass attempt is really, really strong. He's a very, very good player.
He elevates the offense.
Yeah. All right, we are back up. What are you thinking here?
Should we grab
Kittle guy?
I can fuck with Kittle.
Or Baker with Godwin, actually.
I think we could wait a little bit for Baker.
I bet
right?
quarterback is gone by the time we get back up.
Okay, we can do QB if you want.
I bet by the next time we pick, the top quarterback available is going to be Darnold. I bet they're all going to be gone.
Yeah, possibly. Was 129 our next?
Like Jonathan, let me pull up Jonathan Brooks' final season at Texas, because I know it's easy to discount these guys. I mean, also here's another thing: he's been in our lives so long. We're like, oh, Jonathan Brooks, he's been around forever. Jonathan Brooks is 22.
Yeah.
Now,
Which-
today.
Right, which is another factor in his favor. Like young, when you're talking about ACL injuries of this type, young, very athletic athletes, come back better from those types of injuries. And he is going to be about 2 years removed from that. Like they sat him for all of last season. And they also, very important, they did not draft a running back. They had plenty of opportunities in the draft to take a running back. They did not bring anyone in except for A.J. Dillon, who, if you think he's a threat to Jonathan Brooks's workload, he's not. Newsflash. Yeah, that's very bullish that they are confident that Jonathan Brooks will be available and productive for them.
Yeah. I actually think that right there is the big signal, is that knowing Jonathan Brooks's scattered health history, it would have made a lot of sense for them to spend a 4th-round pick on a running back to retain the services of Rico Dowdle at a pretty reasonable contract. Like what Dowdle got, like what, $8 million or something like that?
I don't think it was anything close.
It might
to $8 million.
it might not. Let me pull up here. Let's make this pick, and then I'll pull up Rico Dowdle's Spotrac. I think
Kincaid, huge
over Andrews.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
We'll push Andrews back around.
You're a guest in my domicile. I'm happy to allow that.
I mean, this is
All
a crazy fall for Kincaid.
It is. All right. Rico Dowdle Spotrac. Rico Dowdle signed a 2-year, $12 million contract with $5 million guaranteed. He can be cut after this season by the Steelers for $2.5 million of dead cap. Ollie Gordon, awful pass catching in Oklahoma State. And I say this as an Ollie Gordon guy. I say this as an Ollie Gordon guy. How about this? Jonathan Brooks had more receiving yards per game and more receptions per game than Bijan Robinson. Same team, same coach, same quarterback. Not saying that Jonathan Brooks is better. I'm just saying, like, the evidence that we have for how these guys exist in the NFL, the outside of draft capital, the number one thing that correlates to future fantasy point scoring is receiving work. It's the I mean, you could ask Corain, you can ask JJ Zachariason, you can ask anyone you want. They'll tell you the number one thing that they do is you can actually do it. I mean, raw receptions work, but receiving yard per team pass attempt is the number one. Yeah. And frankly, if the Jonathan Brooks bet doesn't work, it's one I'm comfortable losing. You know, the type of bet I'm not comfortable losing, like when I'm doing my post-mortem of the best ball season, it'll be, I know Javonte Williams stinks. I know Javonte Williams is going to score fantasy points below expectation, but I took a bunch of him anyway because I was scared of having a bad advance rate and like whatever. Like that to me is like, okay, you knew you were making a mistake and you didn't change your behavior. Wow, look at that, Greg.
Andrews.
We are locked in. Okay, so we have
baby.
Lamar, Jeanty, Walker, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Dalton Kincaid, Jalen Warren, Chris Godwin, Jonathan Brooks, Baker Mayfield, and Mark Andrews. That's cool. Speaking of coach speak, Jayden Blue, arrows are up, dude.
They're up, baby.
Arrows are
we back.
Up. Yeah, we have never been more back than we are back on the quotes about him this year, not being about Louis Vuitton shoes, Louis Vuitton cleats.
Yeah, we did get the Louis Vuitton cleat stuff early, I believe, in the off season, but we're off of that now.
Well, the roster watch guys went to the Senior Bowl, the Cowboys coaches, Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl, I don't remember one, and they asked some of the Cowboys coaches, how's he doing? Like, are you guys going to get anything out of him? And the quote from the roster watch guys was that they laughed. Like, they asked him about Jayden Blue contributing to the team this year, and they laughed.
Oh no!
Yeah,
damn.
But that was before they knew he turned over. He turned over a new leaf.
Yeah, he's a completely new person now.
He's a completely new
guy.
There's
no chance that this guy who was super lazy last year will ever revert back to being lazy again.
I mean, it's going a long way back on Jaydon Blue. Like, this was something I didn't know before I drafted him a ton last year, but apparently he quit high school football. He quit on his teammates. Yes.
What?
Yes. He quit. He said, I'm done. I'm out.
Why?
Not playing. Yeah.
Jesus.
Things that could have been brought to my attention before I invested like a Mazda Miata in him last year would have been nice to know. Didn't get that information in time, and I got people. This is how deep it went. I had people like connected people reaching out to me like via DM, being like, I can't say this publicly, but like the Jaydon Blue stuff is worse than you know. Like he's a total loser.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to buy back in on somebody like that because
it is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Okay, we're up. Whoever you want, sir.
What do we need here?
Probably a wide receiver. Yeah, probably a wide receiver unless any of these.
Can you pull up receiver? I think I'm Trey Tucker here, or Travis Hunter.
You know what? I'm fine with Trey Tucker. That's another one where I'm kind of trying to eat my vegetables of like
Eat
Trey
'em.
Tucker.
They're good for you, Davis.
Yeah, it's like, dude, Trey Tucker, he probably, it's like as an adult, I've discovered that like roasted cauliflower in the oven is like actually pretty good. It's like not really that gross. Like that's Trey Tucker. It's like a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice. Like it's fine. Like you can eat it. You don't have to be a carnivore,
Yeah, we can do hot ones with cauliflower.
I was gonna say Travis Hunter is like Reese's peanut butter cups that you have in the cabinet that you're like, I know I really shouldn't get those, but like, I'm just gonna have one.
Yeah,
have a little peanut butter, and then you have three, and you're like, okay, I feel sick now. My blood sugar is spiking now because I just had a Reese's peanut butter cup after dinner.
Yeah, I'm a Kinder guy. I just had a couple before jumping on here.
Yeah, hey, peanut butter and chocolate. Who knew? It's actually or Kinder is hazelnut, right?
Kinder is. I don't think there's hazelnut. That's Ferrero Rocher.
Oh, you're right. You're
right.
Okay.
Kinder is just delicious chocolate.
Man, don't make me hungry right now. All right. So we got to decide if we want this to be a 3 quarterback team because all this group of guys will be gone by the next time.
Geno will be gone next time.
Geno will probably be there because there's a pending.
Yeah,
legal
Mendoza
case
falls a bit as well. What the Bowers guy? What does he have?
The Bowers guy is to our right, and he has Josh Allen and Bo Nix.
Oh, well, we're gonna pick before him.
Yeah, so we're going to pick before him. So let's leave that.
And should we take Hunter?
Let's have a little bit of peanut butter and chocolate after dinner. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Let's live a little there.
What pick is this? 160 something?
160. What's the deal with Jalen Naylor and Trey Tucker? Why did the Raiders not do anything? Or I guess they did do something at wide receiver. It was giving Jalen Naylor $33 million. What's the deal there?
Yeah, dude, they fucking love Trey Tucker. Like Clint Kubiak cannot stop talking about this guy. And part of it is just like the insane work ethic and culture and all that stuff, but also they're into the talent. And people keep asking them. I know like Kay Adams was pressing their general manager.
Oh my God. And if Kay Adams asks, these dudes will say anything to Kay Adams.
Dude, they will give it
Look.
Send Kay Adams to Guantanamo.
If you ever need an answer out of someone, you get them a 5-minute spot on Up and Adams because those guys will say anything, dude. It's crazy. Like the NBA players who go on with her, dude. I mean, it's crazy. These guys will say they would never say this in a normal interview, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I hated that guy. Like we were teammates, but like fuck that guy. Like that guy sucks." It's insane. It's
great.
Wild. Yeah, hey, she's very good at her job. She knows how to get those dudes talking.
Yeah. But Spytech, she asked Spytech, she's like, are you guys gonna bring in another receiver? Like what's going on? He's like, we love our receivers. Like we love Trey Tucker. I do wonder if obviously that's a potential Debo spot there.
That's the one that has made the most sense to me. The need is so obvious and they have the money to do it. and Debo. I was about to say Debo lives in the area, forgetting that they moved to Las Vegas like 5 years ago now, 3 years ago now. So I'm the old guy there.
Damn, Mendoza went off. You're right.
Have you heard anything on where Debo's going? Because like obviously
I've
like
not.
yeah,
I've heard
that's
nothing.
that's an interesting one. Because I keep taking him like someone's going to sign him, but maybe he is of the age where some team is like, actually, you know what, we're good on that.
You don't think 1 out of 32 teams will be like, we could use this guy?
You know, he is a very specific type of wide receiver. You can't just be like, all right, you're going to go be our blank wide receiver. You're just going to go fill this position. Like I mean, this was even true for him all the way back at South Carolina. Like he has to be used in a way that matches his skill. Like if you asked him to just go be Torrey Horton, I don't think he could do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Debo is Debo. He can't really do anything else. Or it's like Diggs, any team that signs Diggs, like, okay, well, he's just a normal like flanker wide receiver. You don't have to like invent a system for him. Okay. We are up. We did not get any of the quarterbacks. So we should probably just want to take Tucker and just be done at running back because we have Baker.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's about as good as we could do there. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should have taken Mendoza, but like he got snapped off by the Naylor drafter. Yeah. Bills reach out for Debo. I just like they have 6 different versions of Debo. They have right. they have the Charizard, Charmeleon, and Charmander of Debo because they have Khalil Shakir, DJ Moore, and Skylar Bell. Like they already have enough guys to run screens. They don't need another guy to run screens. Like they're good. They're
you know
good
where
there.
Would make a lot of sense for Debo is Washington.
Well, frankly, I would bet that's their plan. I would bet they're like, if we cannot figure this stupid Brandon Ayuk thing out, we will just give Debo $8 million to come back and play for us again.
What is there to figure out with Ayuk?
All right, you know what? I say we just don't even mess around and we just take Terrence Ferguson here.
Yeah.
It's Terrence Ferguson
ain't gotta
now,
sell me, buddy.
He is now trendy enough that you basically just have to take him. You can't be like, oh yeah, he'll fall. He doesn't fall anymore. It's over.
I have seen him go in such a range of between like 15th and like 19th round lately.
Yeah, it's been insane. I mean, basically, it's just like are the 11 other guys in your draft, are they regular watchers of best ball content on YouTube? If they are, he's going in the 16th round. If they're not, yeah, you can get him at ADP. But if anyone watches best ball content on YouTube, like everyone is in on T-Ferg. The right wing boomers, the left wing everyone's drafting T-Ferg. ETR has him ranked ahead of ADP. Leg Up, I think, has him ahead of 8. Everyone loves T-Ferg. Yeah, they're too busy drafting Charlie Collar.
I did a draft with Sacrilegious yesterday, and at the end I was like, all right, man, like sell me on why Eli Stowers over Terrence Ferguson, because it seems like I
could sell you that pen. I actually get that one.
I mean, not like in what world could he be better, because like, yeah, obviously these guys all have different floors and ceilings, but there's some real questions with Stowers, who I have a lot of. I've drafted a lot of Eli Stowers. Like he's probably my third most drafted tight end, because he's going very late, and like Nick Sirianni recently said, like this guy is just such a unique mismatch at that position, but also like we gotta work on the blocking with him, and he hasn't played the position long and all that. And then with Terrence Ferguson, man, like how is he not the third leading receiver for the Rams if they don't bring anybody else in?
So we actually played this game the other day on the stream, which is guess the Mike Clay projection, which I am the absolute goat at. I got like multiples of guys within like 5 yards. Like I know my projections, but the base projection for T-Ferg is so bullish you like won't even believe it. The freaking third tight end on the Rams, depending on your perspective, 42 catches, 535 yards, 5 tuds. I mean, first off, if he does that, which is just his base projection, you are like running naked in the streets for how good of a pick he is. And which is to not say, like, what if Devontae Adams gets hurt? What if the Rams are just as efficient passing the ball as they were last year? Like, there are ways where he finishes as like he's the we made this comp yesterday. He's the Julius Thomas, 12 touchdowns on 72 targets. Like he can do that. He really can.
I think double-digit touchdowns would be a bit tough with Devontae Adams and Puka there.
All right,
what position
we're
do we
up.
need here?
I would say wide receiver. I would say wide receiver. Yeah. You got a favorite here?
I mean, I don't want to lose Surratt.
Hey, we can take Surratt. It's fine by me. Get the stack. These these are all dollar players at the end. I do not care. Our tight end position is Kincaid, Andrews, T-Ferg. This would be a team where I'd be comfortable taking 4.
Yeah, for sure. I'm taking so much 4 tight end builds, but 4 later tight ends, starting with guys like Kincaid.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine by me.
Kincaid's gonna have a big year, fellas.
Well, I hope the lava lamp in his knee is fully repaired. That's all I got to say. Are you at all ever taking Watson, Tua, Penix, Shadur, like any of the non-clear playing time quarterbacks?
I take some Penix. I think he will end up being the guy there. I don't know if it's going to be, if he'll be ready week 1. And I could also see them ping-ponging a little bit of like, one of these guys starts and the other, like he's so bad that the other is brought in, and then that guy is so bad that they have to go back to the original. But
God, that is so. The thing you're saying, that is so bearish, man. That right there, the ping ponging is just like, that's gonna be tough football to watch if that's the way it plays out. I mean, same true for the Browns. Like if Shadur and Watson are like trading starts, that is gonna be some of the darkest football you can possibly imagine.
Rough stuff. We looking at tight end? What?
Tight end, or I mean, do you have a favorite like later running back? I know the leg up boys are not so in on this strategy, but do you have a favorite here, or running back or wide receiver?
Let's see here.
Do you take Ayuk?
No, I don't take Ayuk. Pull up running back again. I mean, we could go Halani.
I'm anti-Halani.
Anti-Halani.
I'm vetoing that one. Claiborne?
Yeah, we can go Claiborne.
Did I get it in? I didn't get it in. We took Tyreek. See, there's a little bit of latency on UD where you get like a half second to make your click even after it gets to 0. I got to. I mean, that's pretty dire right there, because I don't think Tyreek is going to be back until like November or whatever.
Yeah, maybe he helps us out week 17.
Hey, you truly never know. I did see here, if you want some copium, I did see some anonymous fantasy football account. I get all these on my For You page. They said that Tyreek Hill is this year's Christian Watson. Everyone writes them off, injury issues, whatever. But modern medicine, he's back way before everyone thinks. He signs with the team. He's impacting fantasy football in like week 10. I really doubt it.
Some key differences, though. One being a big gap in their age, and the other being the type of injury that these guys were returning from.
Now, if you were to choose one NFL player who would find some experimental recovery drug to take to get one more season out of their body, though, Tyreek could be pretty high on the list.
Yeah,
he'd be pretty high up on that. I don't think he would have many qualms about being like, hey, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to this sketchy clinic in South Florida that has boutique peptides, and I'm just gonna take whatever they give me.
Yeah, you need a translator to tell you what's on the box that those peptides comes in.
100%. Tyreek released a new YouTube video. How healthy is he in this video, Listoic? Is he running? Does he have a brace on? How does his knee look? That's where I'm at.
It's a rap video with Darren Waller.
Please tell me that's a joke. Please say psych.
It's a joke. I have not seen this.
All right, I'm going.
This video.
This is gonna mess up. This is gonna mess up my algorithm. To go to Tyreek's YouTube channel. Horrible. I should go on one of my alt channels, but Cheetah Reborn intro 4 days ago. Gonna get to the end here. You know, I gotta be honest. It's kind of bullish.
Looking good? Yeah.
I gotta be honest. He is getting
box
something.
Jumps?
He's literally doing not box jumps. The what is the ball?
The medicine ball?
No, the half ball. It starts with a B. You know, it's got the flat, and then it's.
It's got the handle.
No, I'm gonna pull it up here in a second. We're gonna make this pick, then I'll pull it up.
What are we picking here? What position?
I would say wide receiver. I would say we need a wide receiver.
Sure. Horton is a guy I like. Brazel, Thornton. I love Thornton.
Yeah,
I love Thornton, bro.
Thornton's the guy. All right, let me see if I can pull this up. All right, this
Bosu ball. Somebody saying
Bosu ball. Thank you.
Bazinga.
Would have driven me nuts. Here you go. He's doing the Bosu ball. Bosu ball with no brace on. Oh, is that a brace?
No, I think that's a brace. Yeah, it's some weird short
stabilization
pants.
Yeah. Okay. All right. He's got a brace on. But you know what? I'm gonna call that. It could be a brace. It might just be a sleeve. If it's just a sleeve, like if I told you Tyreek played week 3, where would you have? And I didn't even tell you the team, but I just told you Tyreek is active playing week 3. Where would you start to take him?
And
do you want to take a running back or a fourth tight end?
I think we're good at running back. I think we can take a tight end here.
All right.
We can
Kalar, Delp, Raridan.
I'd be down for either Tongus, Mayer, or Kolar.
All right. Wherever the fuck Sacrilegious and Shady are right now, just you got
Kolar?
We'll take it. I mean, just whatever, man.
Let's go.
The audio is all about revenge, and don't doubt me, and don't mess with my money. Yeah, dude, I'm saying, I look. What I'll say is it's not going to surprise me if Tyreek ends up being a way better pick than Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want about Tyreek. Tyreek's not a very good dude. Tyreek has really never covered himself in glory in terms of like his morals or ethics or anything. He has always played, and he has always gotten back from injuries. He is like, I don't know, man. Like if I told you, if like, okay, so if I told you he's going to play week 3,
yeah,
where would you start taking him? I'm not telling you where, but he plays week 3.
Plays week 3, and he's like fully healthy.
67% of the routes week 3.
I mean, I think you got to take him in the like 80s or 90s.
I was gonna say gut check was 90s. Gut check was just first thought. You're taking him Godwin, Downs, Pittman, Addison, Worthy, Pearsall, that range of guys. That was my first gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Cheetah Reborn, months of silence, countless days of hard work and pain. This is the beginning of the next chapter. I mean, dude, that's so.
This is what Ayuk should be doing. By the way,
this is what Ayuk should be doing. Brandon Ayuk should not be posting Instagram videos of him throwing money around, acting like a dick. It should be, I'm training, I'm running routes.
Yeah. And the song you put over that video is about money.
Yes. Oh man, I wish I didn't see that. I wish you guys didn't show me that, because I've kind of been looking for an excuse to take Tyreek anyway.
This is a great pick here now.
Tyreek doesn't even in 18-round drafts, he's not even 100% drafted anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish I didn't.
I don't know,
see
man.
that.
It was just a brutal injury, and he's an older guy who relies a bit on speed. Not completely, but
I mean, yeah. And the last time we saw Tyreek, he wasn't like blow the doors off good anyway.
Right.
He was,
and he will be with Mike McDaniel most likely.
He won't be with Mike McDaniel.
But he also won't be with Tua most likely.
Yeah, I was about to say he won't be with Mahomes, but I guess you can't say that. I guess he could be with Mahomes. His last game before he got injured, 6 for 67. He did have 6 for 109 against the Patriots in week 2. I don't know, man. Shit.
What? Oh shit! The Michael Corleone pulling the fifth.
Okay,
in.
This is another thing. All off season, he not the whole time because he's been back in South Florida to rehab, but he has been in Kansas City a ton. He's been working out in Kansas City. He's been actually one of the videos he posted was at my old gym on 85th Street in Olathe. Like he's been in Kansas City. He's been doing things there. So,
How are you feeling on Ayuk?
I feel like if you put me on the chess Liam, like I'm taking like 30% of him. He's gonna play to the Karain, like I'm taking 0% of him. I'm not interested at all.
Yeah, probably
probably right about in the middle. I think there's like a better than 50-50 chance he plays for the Commanders this year. I'm not certain about how great he is going to play. Because the thing is Ayuk, if you really look at it, really only had one great season. He really only had the one crazy year where he just absolutely sun-runned efficiency. You know, one year with above 60 yards receiving per game, 1 year with above 10 yards per target. Like he's a good player, obviously. But to me, this is a lot different than like, honestly, this is even different than like the Keenan Allen bet. Like Keenan Allen, you just like know exactly what you're going to get from Keenan Allen. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get from Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
He could just not be good anymore.
Yeah. People, you know, having this discussion kind of centered around, well, if Ayuk plays football this year, then like he should be going at this pick or whatever. But I think that line of thinking is wrong. You can't say like if he plays football. You got to talk about how many games he play, because this isn't a guy who's like coming back from injury and like that's the only question that's kind of surrounding him is like will he be back to 100% coming off of this injury? With Ayuk, it's like okay, even if he gets signed by the Commanders, even if he's ready and playing week 1, like how many games is that going to last? Like how long will they tolerate his Deontay Johnson type bullshit?
I was going to say, like, is Dan Quinn even the type of coach that's just like, yeah, bet?
Dan Quinn's motto is doing hard shit with good people.
Yeah. Are we, is that really what's happening? Are we really think Brandon Ayuk is just going to be able to do whatever he wants in that locker room? I mean, if you wanted to be a Brandon Ayuk bear, the most bearish quote imaginable is Jaden Daniels saying, Brandon Ayuk is my brother, but I have no sense of his football future.
I think Rachaad White said like a similar thing as well.
That's crazy.
A month or so ago.
Yeah.
I think the most bearish quote about Ayuk is all the stuff that Ayuk is
saying. That Ayuk is saying. Yeah. It's completely insane.
Yeah.
All right, man. That was it was a good draft. Let's see. Let's recap the team here real quick. We did Lamar Jackson, Ashton Jeanty, Ken Walker, Ladd McConkey, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, 10 picks after ADP, Dalton Kincaid, Jalen Warren, Chris Godwin, Jonathan Brooks, Baker Mayfield, Mark Andrews, Trey Tucker, Travis Hunter, Sean Tucker, T. Ferg, Elijah Surratt, Tyreek Hill, Otto, misclick, supposed to be Damon Claiborne, Tyquan Thornton, and Charlie Collar.
Yeah, that's a shipper.
Yeah. I'm just taking Kalar in round 20 as a total rope protect, so that if Sack ends up being right, that I'm not totally
Listen,
out of it.
the Kolar stuff does actually make sense. It makes a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. I'm so against it. Aronde Gadsden is really fucking good. They are not.
That doesn't mean that Kolar can't be good and productive. Like he's an insane blocker and a good receiver.
He's a pretty good blocker. He was 11th amongst tight ends in PFF run blocking grade last year. He's a good blocker. It's not like having an extra tackle out there. His 408 career receiving yards, Gadsden had more than that in his first 5 career games. I think I get it,
but look at who Kolar was playing behind. Like look at his college receiving production.
He was yes, he was a very good receiver at Iowa State. That much I absolutely do grant. But I mean, is getting mogged by Isaiah Likely, is that good? Because I don't think Isaiah Likely is that good. If you think Isaiah Likely is in a well above average pass catching tight end, then it's more excusable. I kind of think Likely is fine.
I think it's not like he was behind Andrews and Likely. Andrews was the inline tight end, and then Likely was like the move F tight end there. So like that's like Kolar would have had to overtake Mark Andrews, which was just not going to happen in Baltimore.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it'll be something that I am.
If Gadsden becomes a plus blocker, which he was bad last year, but I do think that he has the frame to like fill out, and we got these reports that he put on 10 pounds this offseason. I do think he could turn into a plus blocker. Like if he could end up being an inline tight end for them, like that would be fucking amazing, because you could run 11 personnel all day with him, and when you need him to block, he could do that. And then we know how good of a pass catcher he is. And I do think that Mike McDaniel will have a tough time seeing what Aronde Gadsden can do with the ball in his hands and not want to use that in his offense. But I think Kolar brings a lot to the table that this isn't a guy that you really want off the field. Yeah.
All right. I'm eating more vegetables. I ate Kincaid vegetables. I'm not even giving
today.
I'm not even giving Charlie Clark roasted cauliflower.
You think Kincaid is vegetables?
Oh, Kincaid is veggies, dude. Kincaid is veggies.
No.
Kincaid is veggies.
He's dessert pizza.
No, and dessert pizza, dude. Oh my God. You want to talk about something else that's delicious? Okay, fair enough. He's vegetables, but Charlie Clark is like unseasoned green beans. It's like it might be
frozen peas.
It might be good for you, but I'm not enjoying eating this at all. It is not a pleasurable experience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get out of here. Hey, tell the people about the things that you guys have going on the Coachspeak Index YouTube channel and over at the Coachspeak Index website.
Yeah, at Coachspeak Index online, doing legendary Coachspeak on Mondays with Pat Carrain at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then obviously the Coachspeak Index Discord, which, like, if you're playing Dynasty and you're not in there, that's really crazy. It's a cheat code for Dynasty and obviously good for redraft and best ball and all that good stuff.
Yep, there you go. You guys can get all of my content, flockfantasy.com, sign up code Davis, link is in the description. Down in the comments as well, Dynasty rankings, redraft rankings, best ball rankings, trade calculator, but literally anything that exists on a fantasy football website exists over on Flock Fantasy, and you guys can check out the best ball overlay as well. Leave you guys with a little bit of 175 Terrence Ferguson teams as of June 26th, buddy. We are absolutely cooking. And there's a video coming out on the channel tomorrow, and I'll be back with all you guys on Monday. Later, everybody.